Imagine driving on a desolate road, alone with nothing but the chilling wind as your companion. The solitude is deafening, the isolation unnerving. A lone traveler, let's call him John, embarks on a road trip to clear his mind. A weary soul seeking solace, he finds himself on the less traveled path, a desolate road that stretches into the horizon. As John presses on, the world around him begins to change. The road, once familiar, now feels alien, as if he's ventured into a realm where normal rules don't apply. The radio, previously singing melodious tunes, starts to crackle, playing an orchestra of disturbing static. The comforting voice of the GPS, his only companion, fades into nothingness, leaving him stranded on this desolate road. The journey takes a chilling turn when in the distance an eerie figure emerges from the shadows. It stands still, almost like a statue under the pale moonlight. John, curious and apprehensive, pulls the car over. He steps out, the cold wind brushing against his face, and approaches the figure. But as he gets closer, it vanishes into thin air, leaving behind nothing but an unsettling chill. Confused and a little shaken, John returns to the sanctuary of his car. As he settles into his seat, the eerie silence inside the car is broken by a soft, almost inaudible whisper. A shiver runs down his spine as he slowly turns around. His heart pounds in his chest, his breath hitching in his throat. And there it was, sitting silently, the figure that vanished moments ago. A terrifying realization dawns upon him. He was not alone. The desolate road had a passenger, a silent observer, a spectral stowaway. The road less traveled, it seems, was less traveled for a reason. As he turned around, there it was, sitting silently, the figure that vanished moments ago. Have you ever driven on a road that doesn't seem to end? Our tale begins with a group of friends, embarking on what they thought would be a thrilling road trip. Their excitement was palpable, their spirits high. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, an unexpected turn of events unfolded. A wrong turn, an innocent mistake, led them onto a highway that stretched on seemingly without end. The moon painted the world in an eerie silver glow as the road signs began to repeat themselves. At first, they laughed it off as déjà vu, a trick of the mind. But as the same signs kept flashing by, their laughter died. A chill crept up their spines, transforming their exhilaration into a gnawing fear. The highway was taking them in circles, or perhaps it was leading them nowhere. Fuel soon ran out. Their car sputtered to a stop, stranding them in the middle of the endless highway. The world around them was silent, save for the soft whispers of the wind. Their only company was the flickering stars above, a stark contrast to the darkness that shrouded the road. Then they saw it, a light in the distance, a beacon of hope. It was far, but it was there, a promise of an end to the unending road. With no other option, they decided to brave the cold, to follow the light. As they walked, the light seemed to draw nearer. Their hearts pounded in their chests, a mix of fear and relief. But as they approached, the light flickered and disappeared, leaving them in the throes of the dark night. Moments later, it reappeared farther away, a tantalizing mirage in the desert of darkness. And just when they thought they were getting closer, the light vanished, only to reappear farther away, drawing them deeper into the never-ending highway. What would you do if you picked up a hitchhiker who wasn't who she claimed to be? Picture this. You're cruising down a desolate highway, your partner beside you, the road stretching out like a ribbon under the moonlight. Suddenly, you notice a figure on the side of the road. A lone hitchhiker, a woman, looking lost and afraid. Being good-hearted souls, you decide to pull over and offer her a ride to the next town. She climbs into the back seat, her clothes damp from the evening chill, her eyes wide with gratitude. She tells you she's been lost, that she was on a road trip of her own when her car broke down, leaving her stranded in the middle of nowhere. As you continue your journey, you strike up a conversation with her, hoping to ease the tension and fill the silence. She talks about her life, her dreams, and her town, but something doesn't seem right. The details of her story keep shifting, the timelines don't match, and her descriptions of her hometown sound more like a place from another era. Your mind starts racing, your heart pounding. You glance at your partner, their face mirroring your unease. You decide to drop her off at the next service station, promising to call for help once you reach your destination. As the lights of the service station come into view, you turn around to tell her that they've arrived, but she's gone, vanished into thin air. The back seat is vacant, the only sign of her presence being the cold seat where she had been sitting moments ago. In her place, you find a note, a chilling message written in hurried scrawl. You unfold the paper, your hands shaking, your breath hitching in your throat. The note reads, "Thanks for not driving me home." You look at each other, the realization sinking in. She was never lost. She didn't need a ride to the next town. She was leading you somewhere else, somewhere you never intended to go. The rest of your journey is spent in silence, the note a stark reminder of the stranger who wasn't who she claimed to be, the hitchhiker who disappeared into the night, leaving behind a chilling tale that would forever haunt your road trips. It's a reminder that not all who wander are lost. Some are hiding in plain sight, their stories woven with threads of deception, leading unsuspecting travelers down a path they never intended to tread. So, the next time you're on a desolate highway, remember the hitchhiker's tale. Remember the woman who wasn't who she claimed to be. And ask yourself, what would you do if you picked up a hitchhiker who wasn't who she claimed to be? They turned around to tell her they had arrived, but all they found was a chilling note that read, "Thanks for not driving me home." The road, they say, is full of stories, some thrilling, some chilling, and some that make your heart skip a beat. It's strange, isn't it? How the familiar turns unfamiliar in the blink of an eye. The same road you've traveled dozens of times suddenly becomes a path to the unknown. When we set out on a journey, we never really know what twists and turns await us. That's the beauty and the horror of it. Take, for instance, the tale of the road less traveled, a seemingly innocuous path veering off the main highway, inviting the adventurous and the curious. Who could resist such a tempting detour? But as we discovered, this road was more than just a scenic detour. It was a gateway to a world of shadows and whispers, of eerie sounds and chilling apparitions. A world where your worst fears come to life, where the line between reality and imagination blurs, and you are left questioning your sanity. And then there was the Lost Highway, an endless stretch of tarmac disappearing into the horizon, devoid of any signs of life. It seemed like a road to nowhere, an eternal loop of desolation and loneliness. The very air seemed to be filled with a sense of dread and unease. It was as if the road was lost in time, trapped in a never-ending cycle of darkness and despair, a chilling reminder that not all who wander are found. But perhaps the most terrifying of all was the hitchhiker's tale. A solitary figure standing by the roadside, thumb outstretched, seeking a ride to nowhere. A chance encounter that turned into a nightmare. A faceless stranger whose story unfolded with each passing mile, revealing a tale of terror and suspense. A phantom passenger who vanished as suddenly as he appeared, leaving behind a lingering sense of dread and a chilling tale that would haunt the driver forever. These stories serve as a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the shadows, of the unknown dangers that lie in wait on the roads less traveled. They remind us that every journey has its perils, that every road trip can take an unexpected turn and become a chilling adventure. They remind us that the road is not just a means to an end, but a journey in itself, filled with stories that thrill, chill, and make your heart skip a beat. These tales of terror are not just stories, they are warnings, cautionary tales that remind us to tread carefully, to be wary of the unknown, to respect the mysteries that the road holds. For the road is not just a path that leads us to our destination. It is a living, breathing entity, full of tales that are waiting to be discovered, full of mysteries that are waiting to be unraveled. And just when you think it's all over, you realize the real journey is only beginning.